These are words that, when caught up in the natural flow of speech, are pronounced quite differently than when they stand alone. First up, we have kind of and kinds of. In the world of fast-paced spoken English, these phrases often get a little makeover. Kind of often sounds like kinda, and kinds of morphs into kinza. For instance, instead of saying I kind of like it, you'd hear I kinda like it. Or instead of there are all kinds of books here, you'd hear there are all kinds of books here. It's important to remember these reductions are informal. They're perfect for casual chats with friends, but you might want to avoid them in more formal settings like job interviews or presentations. Also, keep in mind these reductions are more about how we hear these phrases rather than how we write them. In written English, it's still kind of and kinds of. Now you can understand and use kinda and kinza in your daily conversations. Next, we have lots of and a lot of. These phrases are often used to express great quantities or amounts. But did you know that in fast-paced casual speech these can sound quite different? Lots of often becomes lots of, and a lot of morphs into a lotta. It's like the words merge together and create a new one. For example, instead of saying I have lots of friends, you might hear I have lots of friends. Or instead of I need a lot of time to finish this, you could hear I need a lot of time to finish this. Remember, these are informal reductions and are best suited for casual conversations. They may not be appropriate for formal writing or speech, but they're a great way to sound more natural when chatting with friends or colleagues. With that, lots of and a lotta are now part of your vocabulary. Lastly, we have out of and sort of. These two are quite interesting because they also undergo a similar transformation when spoken quickly in American English. Out of often sounds like outa, and sort of becomes sorta. For example, instead of saying I am out of time, you might hear I'm out of time. Similarly, you could hear it's sorta cool instead of it's sort of cool. Remember, these reductions make your speech sound more natural and conversational, but they are informal. So, use them in casual conversations, not in formal settings or academic writing. Again, the key is to listen and practice. The more you hear these reductions and try to use them in your own speech, the more comfortable you'll become with them. So you now know how to say and understand outa and sorta. That's it for out of and sort of. Next up, we'll review everything we've learned. We have covered a lot today. We dove into the world of fast-paced American English, exploring the art of reductions which are integral to sounding like a native speaker. We started with kind of, which often gets reduced to kinda, and kinds of turning into kinza. Then we moved on to lots of and a lot of, which are frequently pronounced as lots of and a lotta. To round things off, we looked at out of and sort of, which get abbreviated to outa and sorta. These reductions not only make speech more fluid, but they also give it that distinctly American rhythm. So, don't be shy to practice these in your daily conversations. It might feel odd at first, but with time, they'll become a natural part of your speech. Now that you know these reductions, you are one step closer to sounding like a native. Keep practicing, and you will master the fast-paced American English in no time.